Public speaking is hard,
Mm-hmm.
but doing it on the world stage in a second language, that's just next level.
Exactly. Now, today we're looking at a powerhouse in Japanese politics, Satsuki Katayama, Japan's first female finance minister. Now, we've seen her lead in finance, but how does her English hold up under the spotlight?
Right. We're breaking down her fluency, confidence, and one specific pronunciation habit that almost every learner struggles with. And by the way, because this is an open forum, we're just going to focus on Finance Minister Satsuki Katayama's lines.
Yes.
I'm Nash.
And I'm Irish. This is Brighture Reacts. Let's dive in.
Let's go.
All right.
That part of your pitch going into this election?
Of course, it's always part of our pitch. And also, we are trying to protect and reinforce what Mr. Morita has said. This is the force of our industry and super high-tech area. Only Japan can do that.
All right. Right off the bat, what did you notice?
The R and L, she said tlying to instead of trying to.
Okay.
What's the other
Of
word?
course.
Of course.
She missed the R.
Reinforced, yeah. So aside from the exchanging of R and L, I also noticed the dropping of the final R sound. So instead of
Yes.
saying super high tech, she said super high tech. That's what I noticed.
So her accent overall is like of a typical Japanese,
yes.
right? However, that does not stop her from being fluent.
Right.
She can comprehend the question right away. She's very smart.
Right.
Very, very smart. But then again, the pronunciation can be improved.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you mentioned R's and L's. Let's review a little bit.
Okay.
What's the difference between the two
So
when it comes to pronunciation?
Okay, so R and L sounds are all about the tongue position.
Okay.
So R, we need to curl our tongue.
Curl, okay.
For the tongue, for the L rather, we need to stick the tip of our tongue behind our upper teeth.
Okay,
So
so,
that-
it's curling then tip of the behind upper teeth is
Very good.
All right.
That's it.
And also, a sort of financial technology which are coming.
Technology.
Technology.
Did I hear that right? She said technology.
Not G, but not G as well.
Yeah,
It's
something
not-
in the middle.
Right.
I cannot identify what sound, but technology is said as technology.
Yeah, technology.
Technology,
Yeah.
that's the right term, but I mean that's the right pronunciation, but I don't know. Okay, so again, that's one thing.
Coming. Maybe Japan could be
The Japan.
Again,
Right.
yeah.
a little bit advanced in the coming digitalization of finance and coming cryptocurrency utilization, because we are still on the level of testing, even in the United States. But Japan is the first country to introduce legislation onto that.
Okay, in that statement, you can definitely hear the R's and the L's.
Right.
Also with her R controlled vowels first. That too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a talk with Scott on this matter too, and maybe in near future, in a very near future, there will be a stable coin market exchange between dollar and yen, and maybe a little better with euro. This kind of new proposition can be posed from Japanese side because Japan is Japan.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
What did she do there?
That's a very strong statement, though.
Yes, Japan is Japan. Two same words but different pronunciation.
Right.
I don't know why she didn't say Japan in the first place, but she can pronounce it as Japan. But yeah.
So it's not only women mix, but we would like to take advantage of what we
Womenomics.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that term?
No, unfortunately. But that's a very bold statement. It's for women.
Oh.
So I'm guessing that it's women in the politics.
Women, it's coined from two words, women and economics.
Economics.
Womenomics.
Yeah.
Okay. We learned something.
are, like these two gentlemen mentioned kindly to us.
Okay, excellent. Let me see.
Okay, gentlemen.
Yeah.
The caption says gentlemen, but what did she say? Gentleman.
She said
Yeah.
gentleman.
She said it in the singular form,
Mm.
but what she really meant was in the plural form. So the difference between gentleman, and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Short A, short E.
Yeah, and it also happens to women versus woman.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
also very common.
It's common
Yeah.
too. Yes. Right, let's move on.
More foreign workers? And if not, why not?
Thank you very much for the question. This is a hotly discussed matter. Maybe
Ooh, matter.
The soft D there.
Yes, that's a very that's a typical American accent. The T in the middle is pronounced as a soft D sound.
Right.
So instead of saying matter, we say it as matter.
Right.
And she said it perfectly.
Very nice. And I would also like to mention that she was very polite because after the man asked the question, she said thank you, addressing the person kindly. And also it's very obvious, Miss Irish. I don't know if you noticed that she's thinking in the English brain.
Yeah.
She's thinking, but it's obvious that she's thinking of the answer, not of the vocabulary.
Exactly.
If you know what
She's
I'm saying.
not translating in her head.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I noticed.
That's why I said in the first place, the first part of this video is she's a very highly intelligent woman, highly educated woman.
I cannot
She's
agree
very,
more.
very intelligent. She's very, very smart. But yeah, we're commenting on her pronunciation because she has a lot of mispronounced words based on the American English accent book
Right.
or the American English standard. But when it comes to her answers, the context, the content of her answers, she's very admirable.
I must agree.
Yeah. I mean, female politicians in Japan nowadays are like, I don't want to say becoming a trend, but they are what's the right term for that?
Their capability, what they can do.
Is showing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they're taking up space.
Exactly. That's the word. That's the
Okay.
term. Okay.
Let's continue.
in the coming election, that will be one of the matter between us and the position.
Okay. Just one thing. She said, "We'll let's talk about grammar quickly. Will be one of the matter. Matter is countable, and it should be one of the matters. So that's one thing.
Okay.
And also, she said between us and proposition.
Opposition.
She said proposition instead of opposition.
okay.
Proposition has a different meaning.
Okay.
So that's also on the technical aspect.
Okay.
But we all say, our LDP party says that we are in a position to welcome those who are good to us in any sense.
Okay. Let's focus on the word position.
Mm.
How did she say it?
She said position.
Sheng. The final N is not pronounced clearly, but instead it's pronounced as
Okay.
Okay? So, what's the difference between the n sound and the sound?
Okay. So the N sound.
Okay.
Okay. The position is the same with the L sound.
Okay.
So we need to use the tip of our tongue and we need to let it touch the back part of our upper teeth. But for the N sound, it's about the soft palate and the back portion of your tongue. So that's what need to be touched.
Well, let me clarify. The N, the tip of the tongue, or should we press it a little bit? Because if I use the tip, I pronounce the L sound.
Right. It's the same with the N sound.
So we press it a bit?
Yes.
Not
also.
just the tip?
Not just the tip.
Okay.
And for the NG sound, it's about the soft palate touching the back part of your tongue. So it's You
Soft
can try.
palate is behind.
Right.
Near my throat,
Right.
right?
And then the back part of your tongue as well, they touch. They make a closure.
They don't touch. But I can pronounce it. Position. That's the word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good friends coming in, and
Coming in.
Very good word connection.
Very good. Yes.
those who did something wrong or illegal should left. But
Okay. That the last part, the latter part,
The grammar.
should left. Yeah. Illegal
should left.
should left. What should be the right construction for that?
It should be should leave. Yes.
Illegal. So basically, what Japan wants is those people that are doing illegal stuff should leave the country.
Right.
Yeah. And I think not just Japan, it's not just Japan should do that. All countries should do
Should
that.
do that.
Yeah.
We couldn't reinforce the latter in real stages. That's why we have a certain voluminous population illegally came into Japan and staying. And that will increase the Japanese feeling of uncertainty in that particular area. That really happened. So we changed the mode of our driver license.
Okay.
Okay.
That statement. Changed.
Right. Short E versus long A.
Okay. So what's the correct pronunciation?
It's changed with a long A sound.
Yes. And also she said driver's license.
Dlivers.
Dlivers license. So again with the R and
And
the L.
L. And to add, she also said mod of transportation instead of mode with a long O.
Yes.
Right there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's continue.
A mode of a new coming in businessman visa. It was very, very cheap compared to your country. We raised it to the international level. That's what we are doing. But
We also the raised. She said we raised it. So also
A lot of
long vowel sounds.
yeah, mistakes in pronunciation with the short vowel sounds versus the long vowel sounds. So it's the e and the a, the a and the o.
Yeah.
So those she has a tendency to interchange those sounds.
Yeah. And one thing also I think it's not very obvious, but aside from the small individual sound productions, she also said earlier to increase. She stressed on the first syllable increase. Increase is possible if we use it as a noun. The
Okay.
increase of, but it was used as a verb, so it should be to increase.
Increase.
Right.
So it's the stress is on the
Second syllable.
yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
that is true that Japanese culture is a very, very special one. And I was in France for 2 years, and I remember the day, I was under Mitterrand administration. They tried to assimilate all people coming from their ex-colonies.
Again, the R and L, very obvious.
And the word try.
Tried, lied, like that.
Ex-colonies mean they speak French perfectly. But even that, there was a strong negative feeling among Parisian or French people. Different culture. So
Yeah, again, the final R sounds again. Culture. I forgot.
Also with strong.
Yes.
Strong.
Mm.
Yeah. So mostly R's and L's, like
Yeah,
they said.
that's the most noticeable one.
Yeah.
we also feel different culture because the ratio of foreigner attained 3%.
The ratio 3% instead of percent per with the R controlled she used an R sound.
Also with the word three, her soft TH is not very clear. Sounded more like a sri.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like an S sound.
Yes.
And in some area it's very tensioned, so concentrated. The ratio is
Okay. Sorry. It's very tension.
Yeah.
What did she mean by that? Like in some areas the tension is high?
Right. There is high tension or it's tense.
It's tense.
Right?
Okay. Okay. The feeling is
Grammatically.
tense. You can feel. How do we correct that?
Simply there is high tension in
Okay.
some areas instead of it's very tension,
very
because tension is used as a noun, not as an adjective.
Yes.
Rise gradually or to come down a bit now?
we are not very sure of the percentage, but we are not imagining that situation.
Okay. Imagine.
Yeah, I think that happens almost every time with Japanese learners. Instead of using the word imagine, they use image. Although they can be almost similar, but it's imagine is used as a verb.
Yeah.
But they say I can't image. My image is okay. Although they wanted to really say my imagination is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's got to do with word family. Is that right?
Mm.
So they focus on one word, and that's the only word that they use all the time,
Right.
even if there are a lot of variations with that word.
Exactly.
Like image, for example. So you have imagine, imagination, imagery,
right.
right? In
Mm.
this case, what she means is imagine,
Mm.
but she said it as
Imaging.
imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So there. All right. So overall comment.
Overall comment, I would say, I would say that the Prime Minister sets, what's the name again?
Satsuki Katayama.
Satsuki Katayama, not the Prime Minister. The Finance Minister,
Minister.
Satsuki Katayama, is an eloquent woman.
Yeah.
Undeniably, an excellent, a bold, smart woman who has a big voice. Not
Yeah.
literally. What I mean by a big voice, but is her thoughts really matter. Her thoughts are substantial. They are not shallow, if you know what I mean. It's just that from the perspective of English teachers, she has so much to work on to really deliver the message right on the spot
Yeah.
by improving her overall fluency and pronunciation.
Yeah. That's I agree with what you said. I think that's the only thing that she can totally work on, that she can totally improve on, the pronunciation part. Because when it comes to her answers, like you said, she's very eloquent. She's able to simplify those big terms with finance and economics,
Right.
those jargons.
Right.
She was able to simplify them to the point that me, who has no knowledge of economics or finance whatsoever, can understand.
Exactly.
Right?
Mm.
Her vocabulary is very good, is very comprehensive. Yeah, and also she's very fluent.
Mm.
She does not hesitate to give answers right away. If you notice, she have very, very minimal fillers.
Mm.
The only time I noticed her use that was during that when she used the Japanese something. I think she was trying to look for a right word to better explain or to better relay her message or her idea. But all in all, she's a very good speaker. Pronunciation can be worked on.
Right.
And I read a lot of comments from netizens regarding her pronunciation. Her English is bad, her pronunciation is bad. Yes, but I mean, there's more to her than her pronunciation.
Right. It's not just about that.
Yeah, if people will just listen to what she's saying and don't get distracted with the pronunciation, they will be. She's an admirable woman.
Exactly. And she's not afraid to speak her mind. Her confidence is undeniable. It's just that we can't help as English teachers to notice
Yeah,
the technicalities.
It's very distracting for me, but like I said, her content, her message is very clear, very easy to understand.
Yeah, she's out there.
Yeah. Nash, confidence is really just half the battle. Her delivery was so steady.
Absolutely. She's proof that you don't need a perfect accent to be a global communicator. But if you want to fix those R and L sounds, we've got you covered.
Yeah, and if you want to master your own pronunciation, click the link on the description box below and take a trial lesson with us.
Yeah, and don't forget to like this video if you learned something new today, and comment below who should we react to next. That's all. See you in the next video.
Bye.